All right, so to finish up this animation, I look back at my sketch and I see what the transformation is. I'm going to have my character start to glow, and then glow more, and then glow most, and then the glow starts to fade, and the landscape will be transformed, and then no glow, and my character will shake the head and disappear. Okay, so to do that, I can do that all within my stage because I have the walk cycle frames. I've got all of this, so I want to see my timeline. And now I'm animating, and I want to see what I have so far. I have it timed out at 0.3 seconds, which is a good default. The character walks in, and then starts to change. And I had that difficulty of my background elements fading in and out with the character. So that background fades in, the character's kind of magical. Gets to the waterfall. That's a little weird right there. I don't think the character moves enough there. So I wonder if I can do without this frame. From there to there, to there, to there. Yeah, that works better. And then the character kind of steps forward a little and starts to glow. And then starts to glow more and more. Okay, so what is changing between this and this? You'll see that there's an aura, kind of mist and yellow glowing around my character. So to bring that out, I am using layer styles. At first very subtly, and then a little bit heavier, and then by the time I get to here, I want to use these even stronger. So my cover overlay, or my color overlay rather, which is changing the color of my creature to being this more yellow, I'm going to make that a stronger opacity. My outer glow, which is a pink, going to make that even stronger, on and on and on. Then my next frame, I turn off the frame before, I move the effects up. I can erase out the feet. In fact, I'm thinking I don't want that same frame because I don't like how strong the feet are, so I'm going to move it up to frame 5. To vary the walking cycle a little bit. And maybe I need to even move it a little. We will see. Yeah, I think I might have the character start to glow and keep walking. So from here, they're going to start walking again. So I will move it down to frame 4. Whoops. Not move the whole layer, just move the effects. Turn that layer off, and then move this layer forward a little bit. My computer's getting away from me. All right, so it goes from here to here, to here. I want to erase out the feet. Not that strong. Soft, low opacity, so it looks like they're underwater. So by now, I've really kind of gotten a sense of my animation and what are the aspects of it that are difficult, what are the aspects that need to be addressed. Kind of floating above the leaves, but that's okay. It's a minor detail. I think I want to move this one a little too, just to keep that forward movement. So as long as you only select the frame, you can make any changes you want to the layers. You just can't add more layers without adding it to all the frames without meaning to. And then I want to make these effects even stronger. No point in being subtle. So let's see how that works from back here. Yep, so it's working a little bit better. Now let's see, if I wanted to bring in elements while the character is walking, I could do that. And I'll show you the problem with bringing in a new layer. It will work, you just have to manage it. So let's say at this stage, because it's a little weird how the background disappears, right here. So at this stage, once I start really making the glow happen, I'm going to go to some assets that I thought I might need for this project, which are more foliage. And I'm thinking this is pretty nice. So I'm going to bring this in, this big red tree, and just drop it on top, right? Shrink it down, or play with it. Have it kind of come in at the edge. It's a smart object, so I want to rasterize it and erase from it. I'm going to turn off contiguous, get all this blue, a much higher tolerance. Soften it a little bit, delete it out. Soften it a little bit. Soften the selection, delete it out. It works so much faster at these low resolutions. Try to get all that blue. Okay, good. Now I'll use my eraser, I'll take off the hard edges, want it at 100%. So some very fast compositing here. But you'll notice now that tree is in every frame from then on, because I added it at this point. And I can decide whether I want that or not, but I have to manage it across multiple layers that way. Now I don't want it like this actually, so where I want it, let's see. I want it to come in with my creature. So once my creature's head is there, I want it to go to almost the back of my creature. So at this point, I might start bringing it in. So I'm going to bring that layer out and on top, and then move it back. And I'm going to keep its opacity pretty low. So it's going to be kind of something that my character brings with it. Okay. And now you see it's in every other frame. So that's the first time I want to see it. I want to take it out of all of these previous frames just by selecting them and then turning it off for those frames. So that's the problem with adding new layers in. But now that it's with this frame, when I go to my next frame, I'm going to change it, take it down to about 50%, and move it back. And see how I like that. Now, in the next frame, I just have to animate it in each one. Move it back. because I'm treating it kind of like a special effect. I almost wonder if I can use one of these. Yeah, maybe pin light just shows kind of shimmery quality, and I can change that for the previous ones too. So if I change it to pin light, it'll be very subtle. So you can use the layer blending modes as well as the layer styles. Okay, so it's like sprinkling with this red stuff, and that's going to distract from the background changing quite so much coming up, because I'll make that stronger and stronger. So once you understand how to manipulate it, it's not all that hard. I can make it a little bit more opaque as I go now. I can even warp it and shift it if I really wanted to get into it. But as I introduce a new aspect, I have to make it work for all the layers. It won't just automatically track to what I've already done. And you notice I'm not having to make duplicates of anything. So that's quite nice. It's all taking it from the same layer, it's just I'm programming the layer with a different opacity and a slightly different position in each frame. So this is animating on the stage. And what's nice about that is as the creature starts to grow, I can also make this special effect of the red flowers, the leaves, start to grow, or glow, and change, and eventually change the color of the background. So it's good to remind yourself of the intentions of your sketch. And now I have to move this up above these other layers, right? And now I'll let it be a little bit stronger in opacity. And I might even give it its own, or maybe give it a different effect. Instead of pin light, we can try soft light, or overlay's too strong. Nah, it's too strong. All right, we'll stick with pin light, keep it around 50%. Okay, but I can add layer styles to this too, so I can give each of those petals now a glow, or a color, or an inner glow. And I pick the color for it, and I want this to be more of the red. A little oranger. Strong opacity. There we go. Yeah, all right. So let's see what we've got now from when the character enters. And the nice thing about animating on the stage is that you can test it as you go. But you have to be careful about how you ruin certain things. Okay, so I have time enough to take that change and now apply it to these. I'm going to make it a little easier. I'm going to duplicate it here, just so that effect is now embedded into it. And then I have to take it off of all the others. Actually, I kind of like that. But time for that later. So I select all of the